Hi, all things marriage fam. We're here today with your host, Crystal.
Derek Robinson.
And today we have the joiners on today. Now, let me tell you guys, we made a little boo-boo. Their introduction got cut because of our not recording at the time. We always be messing up some. But they're here.
You didn't have to add that part.
I did. Because we jacked that up. But here they are, and they're here to tell their amazing journey with us. And we enjoyed this conversation so much. So much. We hope you enjoy. Here it is.
Before we do that,
Segued everything.
Well, you took you jumped ahead of it.
Go ahead.
Before we do that, of course, we have to give you guys our normal announcements, word from our sponsor, all that other stuff.
Us.
Our sponsor being All Things Marriage. As always, we want to say, we have the King's Kids Wellness Group. Mm-hmm. You guys know about that. If you're new to the channel, King's Kids Wellness is our Facebook group where we talk about and we deal with physical health, mental health, emotional, spiritual. We encourage each other. It's a family-oriented type of group where we're not poking fun at each other or anything like that. We're literally just trying to be there as a support to help each other get our lives together, right? Yeah. In whatever facet that may be. We also have the Love Conference 2021 coming up November 21st. So we want you guys to be aware for that. Make sure you get registered. Registration is open, but it's only open until November the 7th. So that being said, we're not doing tickets at the door. We're not doing day of registration. The final day for registering for the Love Conference 2021 is November the 7th.
Yeah, and sorry guys, but we want to make sure that we have everything prepared. We want to make sure that we have all the items that we need to accommodate you all at the conference. Right. So it's not that, we're trying to cut anybody out, but we want to literally make sure that we have what we need. That's it.
And we have numbers and all that other stuff.
Yeah. So register.
That being said, head over to the website, allthingsmarriage.org. Click the events tab. We'll also drop a link in the description here. Yeah. And register for the conference. Now, with that out of the way, now we can go over.
All right, the joiners.
So what we're going to do here with Bishop and Lady Joyner, we're gonna have a little bit of an interview, if you will, but it's more so just going to be a discussion, right? We're just gonna kind of have friendly conversation, talking about you all's relationship and you all's journey together, and marriage and whatnot as a whole, right? Mm-hmm. But darn it, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. All the way, just lost it. So that being said, either way, tell us how you guys found each other, how you guys got together. What did that look like? What's that journey?
Oh, I can't do my R. Kelly rant right here, so I got to answer this question. Killing me, man. The Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Uh-huh. Well, I think she was in the book of somebody else's because she was looking for me.
Well, actually, I was lurking on his Facebook page, right? Because we actually grew up together, ministry or whatever, that's not.
Her aunts changed my papers.
And our families were connected for years and years and years. And I looked him up on Facebook because we were Facebook friends. So then I saw him and I started lurking his page, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, milk does the body good. He is really cool. He has really grown up to be really, really, he was always handsome, but he caught my eye.
Yeah.
And I actually thought he was way older than me. Way younger than me. But he's actually only 2 years younger. So I was like, oh, he's too young or whatever. But anyway, I was lurking his page. And then I hit him up. I was like, hey, I was just checking on you. He was like, just checking on me? You've never said anything to me on this page. Trying to slide. I slid into his DM, right? And I slid there, and then he hit me back right away. And then
I ghosted him for about 2 weeks.
He ghosted me.
Oh.
I was like, he better not be on here liking nothing, posting anything.
Wow.
Like, oh my gosh. Did he ghost me like he didn't like me? So he thought it was like a joke or something.
Yeah, because I was living at the time. I was living in Springfield, Massachusetts, playing semi-pro football, and I was probably single for about a good year, almost a year in meeting. And I was just done with females. I'm like, And then this is the funny part. Her cousin, was hitting me up at the same time, and I thought they was playing the game, so I ghosted both of them about 2.
Yeah.
But neither one of them knew, and I'm like, why is she talking to me? You never really talked to me in church, except for hey, Lamont, and that was it. So it's like, really? And I was like, they playing games, but then she gave me her number, and then I didn't call that for about a week, and then she texted me, I gave you my number for a purpose. She was Facebook bullying me. So don't let the smile fool you. She's a bully.
But he replied, and it was great from then on. We had great conversation. We didn't date long. It was only like 3 months.
Oh wow!
3 months, and
she wanted a brother bad. She wanted to lock me down bad.
We got married.
I was about to say she was a wife and she saw her husband. That's right. That's
let's go ahead and keep a break. I mean, that sounds good. But we're going to give the after school special answer. She was lusting after me. She saw the muscles. Because if you ask her favorite pictures, it was me just sitting there posing, and the muscles was bulging, and me sitting on the step. That's the
first thing you see anyway. On Facebook, it's the picture.
So
if it's pleasing to the eye,
her loins was on fire.
Right.
So if it's pleasing to the eye, that's the first thing. That's the first attraction anyway. What you see. So I was attracted to what I saw, and then I pursued, and I got it.
Yeah.
It's funny. There's a lot of similarities story, right? And we've told it on the channel before. I was interested in her first.
Okay.
And same thing. Of course, we all grew up same organization.
Yeah.
And we started talking just kind of casually. Hey, how you doing? What's up? And I'm in high school. She's in college.
I thought he was much younger.
She thought I was way younger. So she's like, "Oh, you're immature. You're a child. You're a baby." Mind you, we're a year apart.
Okay.
Wow.
Because his birthday is late.
Right. Because Virginia rules, birthday in October, you start school. Later.
A year later. Same thing for me. My birthday December.
Right, yeah. And so I'm like, well, whatever. If you ain't trying to give me the time of day, I'm done. I'm good. I ain't got to deal with you. We go our separate ways. And then like 4 or 5 years later, she hits me up on Facebook. Hey, haven't talked to you in so long. I loved our conversations. Excuse me. I used to love our conversations, and then it just went on from there. Give me 1 second. I need to get something to drink.
I was gonna say, coughing off screen really doesn't. But yeah, it literally is the same.
Okay.
Kind of same, similar. I was just like, you're too young. I'm in college. I'm living my best life.
Right.
Got freedom that you don't have. So yeah,
you don't know why I ain't got.
Right. So you hit him up. Y'all start talking and stuff. So like you said, it didn't last long. Like dating wise, you were only dating for 3 months
because he was in Massachusetts, right? And I was in Richmond or whatever, and we knew what we wanted, so it was no reason to play around with it and get in trouble.
Because matter of fact, we have planned. Look, we honest, we grown here. We had planned a Valentine's getaway, and I was, gonna give it a carriage ride and everything. We was gonna be in the city of brotherly love. Let's go ahead and be honest. We both grown. We in our late 30s. Yeah, something was gonna pop off. I'm not even gonna sit here and be like, ain't nothing gonna happen. And we looked at each other, and I wanted to wait till I got married again, because this for both of us, this is our second marriage.
Right.
And I wanted to do something different. And when I presented that to her, I said, look, I don't want to have sex until I get married. And I'm sitting over there like, oh, she ain't gonna agree with this. She'll be like, this Negro up there messing with somebody else. But she agreed with it. And she's like, okay, that's cool. But then we met each other for a weekend in DC. You know, of course, we had a chaperone. That was my little daughter. Had a chaperone, so you know we was good. And we thought about it. Valentine's Day, Philadelphia.
Nah,
that ain't gonna work. Let's not even. I'm up in the drugstore like, condoms or no condoms. It's better to have them. I was like, this is not going. And she planned the wedding on her end, and I done my part on my end in what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, about 3 weeks. We had a really good support system, and he was sending me money. He was like, I hope this girl is not spending this money. And then he was talking about something. I don't think this is going to work out.
I would have came down here. Somebody gonna go off the James River.
He was praying that I wasn't like catfishing him and acting like he was gonna get married and spending his money. But every time he sent money, I showed him what I purchased and and things like that. And we did it. We had a it was President's Day.
Yeah, because she kept it.
President's Day.
I don't know. She shysted me when we met in DC.
Can we like
I'm still waiting on my refund on that one. 8 years later, still ain't got it.
Well, we going on 9 years in February.
Yes.
9 years.
Yeah, so people didn't think we were going to make it.
Right. And I was about to say, you both said y'all had been both married before.
Yeah.
Did that help in making the decision so fast? Like, you knew what you wanted, you knew what you didn't want. Right. You knew.
Well, I'll tell you because before I started talking to him, I was in a 7-year relationship, and I wanted to marry him, but he would never marry me. And people was like, Rhonda, he hasn't asked to marry you yet. It was always an excuse. I gotta put my kids through college. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But he didn't want to marry me. He didn't tell me that until I had broken up with him 7 years later. Wow. He told me the truth. And he did. So I wasted 7 years of my assigned time when I could have been further along in the ministry. And then he wasn't really in the church or anything like that. And that was something that I desired.
Yeah.
So I had wasted. I'm not knocking him that he wasn't a good man. He was good to the girls and things like that, but he wasn't my assignment for me.
Yeah.
In my personal life, my ministry life and things like that. And so when we hooked back up per se, or just
back up,
not back up, but we were never together. But when we reconnected, when we reconnected, then I knew, because he was in the ministry and all of that, and I'm like, he's familiar. We grew up in the same, church and church background, so that it just worked. It aligned itself,
right.
And we made it do what it do.
Yeah. I think it probably was the foundation that we had growing up in church. We were very familiar, because it's not like I could lie and say, I'm a CEO of a company, and she actually, her family actually speaks to my mother on a weekly basis.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it was just some fill in the blank. She didn't know I played semi-pro ball and traveled the United States. We did have the one issue came up because I have 3 baby moms. That weren't taught in the church. That that was taught in the street.
You're right.
And her whole thing was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to deal with no baby mom drama. I was like, I don't have that. And for 8 years, she hasn't had to deal with. I don't deal with them like that because I ain't got time for it. So For me, I knew what I wanted. I was at an age in my life that, if I'm dating with the purpose of, spending the rest of my life with somebody. I've always been a relationship driven person. It's part of my zodiac sign. I like stability, and and a lot of people be like, well, I got to be with somebody for many years. You're still taking a chance if you date somebody for 6-7 years and then you marry them. It's still a chance, because by being boyfriend and girlfriend, you can always leave at any time you feel like it. Now I got to now I'm legally binding marriage, common law, whatever you want to say. Now it's a whole different atmosphere. It is actually a different feel when you say I do to somebody. Because when that person gets on your nerves, and for us, it was prophesied to us before we even got married that it was going to be people that was close to us that wanted us not to work. And with us, we both said it from the gate. I remember the conversation we had when I was still in Massachusetts. I said, the devil coming after us. And I wasn't I was a deacon, but I wasn't as far along as the ministry as I am now. I said, devil gonna come after us, and he's gonna come through our kids. He's gonna come through everybody that's close. And we had this discussion before I even moved back down to Richmond. So
that's interesting.
And it's honestly with the people, like when you said there are people that don't want y'all together or to see that y'all work out. When most people hear that, they probably think people is like, oh yeah, we slept together, yeah, he a dog and stuff. Like, it doesn't even have to be that extreme. It could just simply be they not gonna make it, just like, they get married in 3 months. That's not good.
And it was people. I was honest with her. I said, well, when it came, because I ain't gonna, let's go ahead and throw this other one out, elephant out there. I ain't never wanted to be married to anybody from the church we grew up in.
Ooh, that's a hard thing for people to swallow. But
I've seen, how it looks. I'm like, don't want that. I'm good. But she wasn't like that. I didn't get that from her, and I let her know. I said, well, look, I've only did such and such with such and such person. It won't sex. It was the devil.
I said, they ain't want us to tear that part.
No, actually, we're really open with talking about our journey. I know for me, I'm not ashamed about anything that has happened in my life. I don't regret anything because it has brought me to where I'm at now. A lot of people may be ashamed of it, but I'm not. I really am. I made some bad decisions. I made more great decisions. So, I've learned from the decisions that were bad, and I'm learning even more from the decisions that are good. And I'm good. I mean, both of us get on each other's nerves. She said I get on her nerves more, but
it's a privilege and an honor because I love it. I'll be like, oh, so you don't want to be touched right now? Okay. Those are, those can get, aggravating after a while, but it's just like, no, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make it fun, and we're going to be kids, and, kids tease one another. So that's what we're going to do.
There's an ongoing, like, kind of joke, if you will, that me and my buddies in college had. And we used to say, every woman is crazy and every woman is annoying. You just have to find the type of crazy you willing to pull up.
Right.
That's so true, man. If you busting windows, that's not the type of crazy guy.
Yeah, that ain't about crazy. I can't deal with that crazy. But
you calling every 5 minutes. That's the type of annoying I can't do it.
Right. But so we're gonna switch gears just a little bit. Because you guys you mentioned people coming against your marriage and it being prophesied that that there were going to be those who wanted to see your marriage fail, or for you to not even get married. So, and of course we know that God has his hand on all of it. But being in ministry, both of you being in ministry, how does that impact your relationship, or what's that journey like, kind of merging ministry with marriage?
Oh, Jesus. You're always going to have one that is gung-ho and ready to go, and regardless of what obstacles, because they believe that, God can do anything out of anything small. And then you're going to have that one that's like, I hear what you're saying, bro, but no.
Okay, so he's trying to throw me under the bus. So he is like a visionary. Visionaries are different type of people. They are different type of people. They have big dreams, big visions. God deals with them, and with dealing with the play. He's a playwright and director, producer, and all of that. And now he's in the ministry as a bishop, and we get ready to launch our church again and everything.
Different.
He's a visionary, and when you deal with visionaries, they push you, and they have these visions and dreams, and they want you to come on board, and they push you. And it's sometimes when you're not ready to be pushed, or you don't feel like you can do it, and sometimes it gets overwhelming, because they feel like you don't have faith in what they believe in if you don't quite understand the vision. So it's a challenge dealing with a visionary, but I support him the best that I can, the best of my ability. But it has been a tug of war at times with different events or situations that have come up in the relationship, dealing with his visions that he wants for either the family or the ministry or the business.
Right.
So.
Okay.
That's the best way I can put it without putting him under the bus, that he's a handful. So I would just leave it like that.
Throw you right on
under the right tire. Right under the right tire.
He could be a handful at times, but I have been learning to deal with him. And when I speak to other first ladies that deal with visionaries, it helps me along the way, and it encourages me that I'm not the only one that goes through it when they're dealing with a leader, a visionary, and they encourage me to keep pushing, keep trying. She said, well, that's the life of a visionary's wife, like that. So then I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. And then I feel better about the situation, and they teach me how to deal with them. And the number one thing is prayer.
Oh yeah.
For yourself and for him.
Oh yeah.
Right. I have to pray for him, to keep him in the pocket, and pray for me for not getting out of pocket, and still supporting him and not disrespecting him, and his visions and things like that.
And for the visionary, I guess for me, we say we serve a mighty God that can do anything. Now you're being put to the test. And for me, when I went out there and when I was sinning and doing things and clubbing and all that, I went 110%. So now that I'm doing my purpose and what God intended me for to do, I refuse to give anything less. I have a street mentality to it. You give me a little bit, you give me a brick, I'm gonna flip that brick. It can love. I'm gonna make it do what it do. If I gotta, work 2 jobs to make it happen, that has just been me. I came from nothing. So for me, I look at it, even if you try your hardest, it's not a failure. A failure is when you don't try. That's when you have failed. But at least I call it an educated learn. Because now I learned something, and now I know how to go back to the drawing board and revamp it and do it again. And make it succeed. So that's just me.
That's what's up. Now Rhonda, something that you said, you have to pray to make sure you don't get out of pocket and disrespect him. I like that, and I like that for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think a lot of people nowadays, and especially younger generations and earlier on in marriage especially, understand the importance of respecting each other, but the respect that a man requires to feel safe in his relationship and to feel safe in his marriage, right? We as men, we thrive on respect. Yeah. And if we don't feel like we're being respected, one, we don't want to try as hard. We don't want to, like, it demoralizes us and make us feel like we don't want to get up and go and do, or rather, we don't want to get up and do for you, right?
Yeah, so, in a nutshell.
Yeah. Right. So I think that's very important, and it's a lesson that needs to be pushed in today's society, that respecting your partner in your relationship and the need to work on yourself as opposed to getting them together. That's
one thing. And that's one thing that we've learned a lot with my covering and his wife, is that you only can focus on you. And like for me, I know what my love language is. A lot of women don't know what a man's love language is. They think, oh, if you feed him and you sex him, that's his love language. Right. If a man doesn't feel that he's appreciated and respected, you can tell him you love him till your face turn blue.
Yeah.
But he gonna see, you cuss me out. Yeah. You talk down to me when you belittle me. Yeah. And that's a man's love language, because it's hard enough for us to go out here in this world and work every day on a job that really don't appreciate us, no matter how much money we bring them in, how many clients how many fights I break up at school and do all this. And then you got to come home and you got to deal with the same thing. And you're busting your butt doing the best you can and going hard for your family, and you don't feel respected. And it's not an excuse for a man to cheat, but most of the time when most men go out, they're trying to find that respect that they don't get at home. Yeah. And that's all they want to do is feel respected. Like a woman has her love language. She wants to be shown affection. She wants you to say she looks beautiful and stuff. That's her love language. Right. But a lot of women feel that we don't need to be said anything to, and so on and so forth. And they can give us a compliment here and there. No, we want compliments just like you. We want to be respected and not called out our name. Even if you look at it, and we do have put on some weight, baby. You got 2 more pounds of sexy on you right now. Right. Do you know that? Look, that joke will get up. For real, I got 2 more pounds. You know what? Let me take that 2 pounds on a walk.
Right. Yeah.
Now, when I made that statement, I didn't come into the marriage making that statement.
Yeah. Right.
That was 8 years till I can get to the point to make that statement, because I wasn't respecting him like that.
She like to get that,
and especially if
like to get that neck wrong.
You really now sometimes you can pattern your relationship with your parents, but it's not the same, because we're 2 separately, totally different couples, but respect is respect. Yeah. But the way that you respect can look a little different. Mm-hmm. I know that my mom respects my dad, but the way that, if I was to take that to this relationship, I would feel a different kind of way. Like, I don't know if I should do that or not, because she's too submissive, or she's too, because we will put our twist on it. Yeah. You go put your twist on it because you go think you're either doing too much, or I don't take all of that, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. But it worked for them, because my parents have been married 50 years. So I had to go through highs and lows, low and lows.
It won't that.
What I'm saying.
Come on, man. You put a little too much on it now, Jane. You put a little too much on it.
We've had arguments, all of that. We never separated. We separated maybe about a week, I think.
She left me.
I left him for like a week because so we did separate, came back or whatever, but it was never another person. I never left. He never left for anyone else. It was just cool down, period, because it was just really rough for us. So when I made that statement today, that's because I learned that within the 8-year period. I didn't come in like that. I don't want to misguide anyone. That she was perfect and I had to learn it through ups and downs and counseling, marital counseling from our pastors and other pastors and pastors. We had counseling. Then, our own separate counseling that we did, with other therapists, because we do promote therapy,
Thank you.
That's right.
And not only in the church,
but
outside of the church.
Because the funny thing about it, I think, me personally, I feel that outside counseling outside of the church is more better, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you practical living skills and less Bible.
Yes.
And like I told her, and I preach this a lot, or said it a lot in the marriage. People have to understand, you have to find out what works for your marriage, not what works. You can't look at your mom and dad or grandparents and be like, I'm going to be just like that. Different time period, different mindset, different people. So I told her, at the end of the day, we have to figure out what works for Rhonda and Doug. That's it. Not for Rhonda, Doug, and the kids.
Right.
With us, what works for us, and if it works for us, it's going to work for them. And if they don't even want it to work for them, they will be all right, as long as we are all right. Because I said, at the end of the day, when the kids are all grown and gone, which majority of them are grown, it's going to be me and you. So if we haven't found out what worked for us, we're going to go like the White family. We're going to go as soon as the last kid graduate. Well, I think I want a divorce now.
Yeah.
Right.
20 and 30 years you in divorce court.
So we're still figuring out.
Which brings us to the blended family. That was a big issue in our marriage, to try to blend the families together and to introduce him with me and the girls, because it was just us, forever. Then, he comes into the picture, whatever. And I struggled with that. And that caused a lot of friction in our marriage, a lot of arguments, a lot of, sleeping on the sofa. I don't want to be around you type of thing. We had to get through that hump. But again, we did get through it. And, I never think we was going to get through that part for real at one point, because there are books out there, but for your specific situation, there's no book for that. You can read a book and pick out nuggets and things like that, but that was a major challenge for us. Major. But we have gotten over that hump, and I think we can kind of teach on it a little bit, if we were to do a session on the blended family. But it's really, really rough.
But people have to understand that, one thing she would say, this is new to me. If we look at it from a biblical standpoint, the blended family was in the Bible. Jesus was part of a blended family.
Yeah.
It was.
Abraham, Hagar, and Ishmael. Sarah, part of a blended family.
Yeah.
And you see what Sarah told her about, take her little butt in her kid, get gone.
Right. Yeah.
So, look, that was the first baby mama drama. Let's go. You got to go. Kick rock.
Yeah.
So the blended family has always been there, but it's just people don't know how to maneuver around, because how we were raised in church, you get married one time and that's it, to death do us part. But the thing is, blended families have always been around. It's just, it was no information how to handle it.
You had to go through it blindly.
Because a lot of people don't understand. And men, it's okay. Women, it's okay if you were this is the biggest thing. You love me, but you don't love my children. I spend more time getting to know you and not your kids. So of course I'm going to be in love with you more than I love your kids. And in a relationship, you need to understand that it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to build a relationship with each one of her. And I've learned that from my past marriage. You know, I came into it, you know, I'm the husband, I'm the head, da. Came in like a roaring lion, a bull in the china shop. Didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work. So, and even this time, I came in more of, let me sit back and, you know, kind of ease my way in. That didn't work either. It depends on, and most of the time, I feel for me personally, it depends on the person. Like for me, my kids didn't live with me, so it was an easier transition for me, and it was easier for my kids to probably transition into the situation because they wasn't with me on a daily basis.
Right.
So I feel like I said, at the end of the day, even with that situation, it has to be what works well for you and your spouse, even in that situation. Because if your kids see that mom and stepdad or dad and stepmom are united firm, I think we might need to go ahead and fall in line. It's not going to work because the kids are going to try to divide and conquer. That's what
they're going to do that, blended or not blended. They're going to try to divide and conquer.
Right. Because they definitely do that at school. Douglas?
Yeah. Let me go ask this teacher right here. Yeah. He or she gonna say yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I can also appreciate you guys saying that you had to get counseling both in church and out of church. Because and when I say I mean saved folk Christians as well as black people. We don't like to get counseling. We don't like to ask for help. And
we would rather drown.
Yeah.
And say, we get a divorce now, than to say I have an issue and I need help.
Yeah.
Throw me a lifeline.
Yes. And the thing is, go ahead.
Oh, no, I would say I told a story on our channel the other week about how when I moved out, I was, I'm grown, I'm on my own, I'm gonna make it by myself. And if I gotta live in my car, then that's what I gotta do before I go back home. And sure enough, I didn't have to live in my car, but my car got taken. And it was just like, dang, I think I need to ask somebody for help. And that hurt. And that hurt me. Like, that hurt me to my core. But it taught me a lesson that it's not a bad thing to ask for help when you're actually out here trying and you're doing, people are willing to help you. It's when you're not doing anything, and when you just like, oh, whatever, let somebody else take care of it, that people don't want to help you out.
So true. You're right about that. And we're taught, especially as men, not to talk about our feelings and not to ask for help. We're the men, we supposed to just deal with it. But in today's society, men, I would say, and it's not taking anything from the female, men probably need the most counseling because, we are trying to deal with different things in our life. Women tend to handle things a little bit more gracefully, growing older, doing this. Men, we tend to if we can't go like we used to when we was 30 years old as far as working and having this energy, it makes us feel less of a man, and it puts us in a depressed state. And then on top of that, you have where some days you see how, the police killing black folks, black men. You have that to deal with. You're dealing with the fact, am I doing enough in my house?
Yeah.
You need to talk to somebody. Sometimes talking to your boys and having the beer ain't gonna cut it, because them knuckleheads gonna give you probably the wrong advice and make your situation. Well, you shouldn't listen to me in the first place. Yeah. I ain't got no woman.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm in school now for marriage and family therapy. So, I truly believe you need somebody outside of just your pastor and, overseer or bishop, because yes, they can give you, the godly and the Bible scriptures and, and what they interpreted and, you know, stuff like that. But it can only go but so far.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've been in church, you know, we've all grown up in the same organization. You know everybody.
Yeah.
You can, favor one family over the other family. And so if I come to you now seeking help and guidance, you're coming from that biased position.
Yeah.
Whereas therapists and counselors on the outside, they don't know you and they don't know you. They only get what they're getting in the counseling session. And they've studied. One of the best things that I've learned in classes is that, science, psychology, sociology, we're just studying what God has already done. We're studying his creations. So if I have a in-depth understanding of how human beings operate, how they think, how things, impact them, I can help you on a better I won't say better, but on a different level that a pastor who just went to seminary or didn't go to seminary, can help me. They can know, well, the Bible says this about marriage and the man is the head. Okay, but what does this man look like in my marriage so that we can have a good progressive marriage? So I think they're beneficial, yes, both of them. But I think it benefits, even more having both of those pieces and going as long as you need to. Not I just went one time and I just didn't. No, I didn't get anything from it. There's another therapist that might fit you a little bit better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
so true.
I'm glad you guys brought that point out because, especially in blended families, like Rhonda said, it can be very difficult because you can have the one parent saying, "This is my child. You can't tell my child nothing," and then the child hears that, and it's just like, "You're not my daddy." My mama said so.
And I've had that, as being the person from the outside, you hope you never hear that you ain't my daddy. And I've heard, I got it. I only got it one time. I got it one time. Oh, I ain't okay. I got it. Because I tell even, we've being in the field that me and my wife used to be in, dealing with at-risk kids, you have step parents that are worse, that come in and they treat the child bad. I mean, really bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not that person now. Yeah. I probably could be, but I choose not to be because she probably been uncut me a couple of times. Yeah. And then she watched a lot of criminal shows, so she probably know how to do that.
I know how to hide a body.
Look,
call me Rhonda.
Right.
Putting it in the James River is not hiding it. That everybody's body is the James River. Okay. Half of the jokers that got killed when Richmond was at the highest crime rate is in the James River.
Yeah. I know how to get rid of one.
So,
that's right. We can't tell secrets.
That's right.
She gonna be asleep. She gonna be asleep. But yeah, we have tried our best to figure out how to make it work. Even communicating with each other on all aspects. I'm one I say what I need to say because I refuse. I've been in a situation where I was the type of man that I held my feelings in, and I'm going to say what I need from her. And she didn't really understand this, that men need different things at different stages of their life. The older man gets, he needs. It's almost, and it's not saying a man is a baby or a child. A man at certain ages needs to be almost nurtured, and cared for, his mother used to. I guess because you have those days where, like I said, it's a lot. some days I just want to take my cape off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I want to lay my head in my wife's lap and just cry because, you know, just tired of the world. Because when you get into ministry, and I be wanting to smack folks. Yeah, I got a Peter spirit. You know, I want to cut an ear. I just want to dot an eye, somebody's eye.
Yeah.
But I can't. And it's like, and it bothers me so much. I don't have an outlet because I don't play football no more. So I don't have an outlet. And she tries to, I think it's to control me. She tries to keep me calm and keep people away from me that come across me.
Because I tell him, look, the only thing you have is your name. Yeah. That's your reputation. So if we haven't really launched out there and you mess your reputation up before you even get out there, I have to be the voice of reason.
Girl, I'm Frank Luke. My name gonna ring bells. I'm Frank Luke.
No,
I try to be the voice of reason. Like, hold on, you can't just be going out there willy-nilly and hitting folks, or you know, you don't have to confront everything.
No, yeah.
You don't have to confront everything.
You don't confront everything, but you confront everyone.
You don't have to
right.
Everyone.
But
so I try to keep this pit bull at bay, you know, because he doesn't like to be disrespected. And I get it. But we're in the business of showing love, and there's no way. And you have your reputation, and that's all you have is your name. Once your name is
showing love.
What's the word? Once your name is smudged or whatever, tarnished. That's the word. Once your name is tarnished, you can't get that back. It's gonna take you years to get it back when you didn't work years to keep it.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't go around being a pit bull. And I keep telling him that.
Yeah.
So y'all pray for this man of God, you know, that he would get his he would keep his attitude and his temperament godly.
But that's the thing. I look at it and I look at Samson, right? And I always used to say Samson had to be the dumbest man under the sun, right? Because here you got this lady that show up, and you know Samson the baddest thing smoking, and this lady show up and say, "Well, what's the secret to your strength?" And then he's like, "Oh, if you tie me up with vines, then you know I can't do nothing." And then the next morning he wake up tied up in vines. And you do that 3-4 times in a row, at some point he's supposed to recognize what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But as I get older, you start to realize it wasn't that Samson was dumb. He found a woman who knew how to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? He came across the woman, and it brought it to my mind because you know when you say you want to take the cape off and just lay in your wife's lap and be vulnerable sometimes, right?
Yeah.
He found a woman who he could be vulnerable, and that can be a powerful tool, both positive and negative.
Yeah.
He found a woman that he could be vulnerable with, and it turned out to be a negative thing because she had ill intent. But that's also why the Bible says a man who find a wife find a good thing, because when you find a good wife and you can be vulnerable with that person, they know how to take that vulnerability and, like you say, and nurture you and build you back up and strengthen you back up. So once you get up out the lap, you put that K back on, and now you Samson again. You know, now you lifted up the gates to the city again, and you good to go because she knew how to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? She knew how to build you up and make you feel all right again. So yeah.
Well, look at that.
He is a pure preacher.
We're gonna go ahead. Look, we're gonna go straight to the ordination. Right.
Come on, man.
We're gonna go straight to it. We're gonna put you in purple, Roman purple. We're gonna take it right now.
Okay. I can't.
Let's start talking about the Bible now.
Yeah, I mean, once you go there, that's it.
That's it. That's good.
Yeah, that's it. I never thought about that.
That was real good.
Good nugget.
That was a good nugget.
I try. I read a little bit.
That was well put together. That's more than a try.
That was insightful.
They got Ashley in there holding up cue cards.
Come on.
That would be hilarious.
That would
be hilarious.
Ashley over there, hurry up.
Oh man. What else you got, Laura?
I don't have anything else right now. Y'all done covered everything.
Oh yeah.
Y'all went on down the line. Like y'all pieced that thing together.
Okay.
What?
And let me say this. I really want to commend the two of you all for being a young couple, godly couple, trying to encourage other couples, because you sure have enlightened us, and we got you by a few years,
and appreciated.
Yeah, we got y'all by a few years, but
you got them by.
I got y'all by a whole century.
I got them by.
I got y'all by a century, but I just want to commend you all, and I want to bid Godspeed on your journey in marriage and ministry, and what you all are trying to. Not trying, but doing. You all are on here, you're teaching and you're being transparent. And the millennials need that, especially the newly married ones or those who desire to be married. And I just want to say, you all are just two awesome young individuals, aren't they?
Yes. Look,
they're just two young, inspirational, godly young people, and I'm just so super excited. I'm just so tickled pink. I am tickled pink about it because they're doing a good thing.
They are.
They are really doing it.
We definitely appreciate it.
And
it's good to hear,
God bless you.
Thank you.
Because sometimes people don't, tell you, how they'll sit and listen from a distance, and then you doing okay. So it's definitely good to hear.
Yeah, I want you all to keep going. No, if it's seems hard, you feel like you're not getting support, you feel like people are not encouraging you, keep going, because it's gonna bless a lot of people, single, married, want to get married, whatever. You all are doing a mighty work, and I want God to bless your ministry, because this is ministry.
Thank you. I'm so appreciative that you said that, for real, because that's honestly something that, I've said, and in my private time, I'm just like, Lord, like, this is something I enjoy doing. This is, I enjoy talking about marriages. I enjoy talking about relationships and how to be better, in our relationships. But, sometimes, like you all said, there are, negative voices and, people, because, honestly, we were prophesied to that the enemy would attack because that ministry was within us. So it definitely can. I don't think that necessarily anyone has tried to attack our, relationship directly, but those thoughts and not seeing or feeling the support that you think is supposed to be there.
They can start playing with your mind. And that's all the enemy needs, is an area to play around with. So when you start feeling that negativity, they don't support, maybe we should stop. They don't really support us anyway, but keep going. Keep going. I would strongly suggest for you all to keep going, no matter how bleak it looks. If you feel like your best friends or best people or friends not supporting you, just do God's will.
Yeah, we know
that is over your life.
Yeah, we know from experience, and even when we stop doing certain things,
and they miss it.
People that have hit us like, "When y'all gonna start doing that again?" So it was like, we didn't think nobody was listening.
Somebody is listening, and they're learning.
So
keep going.
Yeah, because we did something with the 28 days of love, and we had people, y'all not gonna do it this February. No, we to go right.
And candid conversations, we had that one time. Keep going.
Even if you just take a break for a while and we keep doing it. One thing you got, if y'all need some support, without me putting hands on people, you got to join the support. I got it. Look, I only can be supposed to be praying hands, but
gotcha.
Sometimes you got the oil in.
Yeah, I got the oil. He got the fist.
You just gotta put the oil on it aggressively. That's all. They need an aggressive dose, is what it is.
That's it. I'm gonna pray aggressively. That's it.
Yeah.
But keep going. I absolutely love it. I love it. If nobody else tell you today or this week or this month, we love you guys. We love what you're doing, and we want you to keep going.
I'm
keep
jealous.
Going forward.
I'm jealous.
Because you got the stuff going.
No, but look at it. Y'all are doing stuff like
and they're young.
And y'all are doing stuff that we may have thought about, and y'all have the avenues to do it. And it's like, darn, why that couldn't happen to me when I was that age?
Yeah. But it wasn't ordained. It was ordained for them.
It's a good jealous though.
Right.
Because
I understand.
At least you all are fulfilling purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't mean this as to throw shade. We have a lot of people that grew up how we grew up in the church. Mm-hmm. And God has put purpose in them, but they rather sit on the sidelines and not do it because they're afraid of what the body of Christ would say. But the thing is, if God gave it to you, it's nothing that the body of Christ can say.
Yeah.
Because if it leads to all giving God the glory, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
Because sometimes I think about what all of us could be if we got the training, how we should have got it. We supposed to have been the Creflo Dollar Ministries and the TD Jakes, and that's supposed to have been us.
Yeah.
You know, y'all supposed to have been The View.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, you're doing it now, and our time is going to come. So you know, sometimes it frustrates me that I wish we would have got it earlier, but then at the flip side of it, we can't expect
it was in our appointed time.
Yeah, or either we can't expect to be trained on something that somebody that they wasn't trained on.
We're not going to dwell on the past. We want to let these beautiful souls know that the Joyners have their back. If there's anything you all need from us, any support, we support you. Yes, we support you. But if you need anything from us, we got you.
We are
here for you all. Okay.
I just want to be the little dude at the bottom of the show that you know how I be talking like on the other reality shows.
The little talking head at the bottom.
Don't let him mess our show up, please. Keep your show just like it is. The two of you are, and I absolutely enjoyed myself this evening. Thank you. Thank you for considering us, because I thought it was awesome that you all thought about us and wanted us to come on.
Oh yeah.
I was excited. I said, we must be somebody.
I'm just upset. I'm mad I didn't get to do my R. Kelly thing though. We got
I was surprised. I said, I don't take it lightly that you all had chosen us to be a part of your beautiful show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we thank you. We thank you. We are super excited about that.
We made sure we got back home. We made sure we got back home.
Flying down 64 trying to get back. We didn't want to disappoint you too.
Right. Well, we definitely appreciate you guys accepting the invitation. We had a great time.
Absolutely.
Like we had a great time.
We don't. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say before we go one more time, just let everybody know where they can find you guys.
Yes.
If your ministry has a Facebook page or a website or anything like that, just let the people know where they can find you.
Well, you can find me over here on this block over here on Fulton Ave, in the greater Fulton. You know, I be running these corners over here on Carlisle and Williamsburg Road, right over here. You know, that's my corner over by Christmas. That's me. Let me stop.
Are you passing out tracks?
Right.
I mean, if that's what you want to call it. Yes, let's go with that. Right there. Yes, I'm passing out tracks. Yeah.
Bless the Lord.
Yes.
Bless him.
It's a little plastic bag. The word, my tracks are kind of small. Let me stop. You can follow me at Bishop Douglas Joyner on Facebook, also on Instagram, Bishop Lamont X. You know, that's my militant. You know, I got that Kanye West personality. You also can follow us at Church of Change on Facebook. Okay. Also, you can follow us at Healing for Your Soul Productions. That's on Facebook and Instagram. And if you're ever in the area, you can come hang out with us at our wonderful pastor at Community Impact Center at 2500 Seminary Avenue every Sunday. Well, this Sunday we're only going to have one service from 9:45. A 9:45 service for morning manna and 12:30 for regular service. But yeah, you can just follow us. Rhonda, she's what you doing shows at this week?
Shows.
I think she's gonna be at the Paper Moon.
It's the pink.
The pink moon. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right next door to Rosie's.
That was a joke.
Come on over.
Joke.
Yeah, we are just playing. I ain't on the corner no more.
And I'm not on the pole. So
we don't do that. We have been delivered
from the pole to the pulpit. That's
Amen.
Oh, you was on the pole.
Oh no, I was not. That was a joke. Oh my goodness.
I was like, we can't end this. I'm getting ready to do my R. Kelly. You killing me, Ron.
That was a joke, people. That was a joke.
Right.
Wow. Oh my gosh. This has been This is great. This has been fun.
Yes.
I enjoyed this.
I'm glad I had fun.
I did too.
I did. Thank you all again.
And we love y'all. We love the Robinsons. Y'all.
Anyway,
love y'all.
We love y'all too. 100%.
Yeah.
We will